Hi everyone, Tracy from the Wildlife Garden. Bit of a sad thing going on today in the garden, something else I've lost. I'm in the process of taking down the rose off the fence. It's my neighbour's fence, it's not my border, so it's damaging their fence in a bad way, so I need to take it down. So I'm in the process of hacking that back. I'll turn you around. So you can see it's pulling off the strengthening butts here, and I thought it was just this one, but it's further down too. It's buckling all the fence, so I don't think I've got any option. So I'm taking it all down. It's a rambling rose, it might come back, I don't know. It's not used by the birds particularly, but it's certainly used by the bees, because it has beautiful flowers on in spring, which obviously provides early nectar, and also the leaf cutters use it for making their nests, so it will be missed. But what I'm thinking is, if it doesn't come back, I might plant a hedge here. I can keep on top of that a lot easier than I can keep on top of this, so hopefully I can replace it with something and rejuvenate this area a little bit and protect the fence more that way, rather than having things hanging off. It was precariously tied on, as you can see, just bits of wire here and there. I haven't got anything strong enough to hold it, and I'm thinking if we do get any weighty snow in the next 6 to 8 weeks of the rest of winter and even early spring, we can get some heavy snow, it really will finish the fence off. So I'll show you once it's cleared. All done. So hopefully the panel fence will hold up for the rest of the winter. We'll need to replace that one for our neighbour, but it's opened up the area. The pond will get more light this year, if nothing else, and so will the daisies that grow there. We have oxeye daisy growing here, which is getting very leggy due to the lack of light. So be interesting to see what changes there. I think it'll still shoot. I've left some of the stump in, unless the winter kills it off. And yeah, it's all been added to my dead hedge. So if we go and have a look at that, look at the sky. Not sure if it'll pick it up. It's quite late now. We're getting on for, I should think, about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Might be 4:30. The nights are drawing out slowly. Also, while I was at it, cut all the don't usually do this, but there wasn't much of it, so I have cut back all the bramble back hard, so that's all ready for it to start growing again. This is my wood pile. This is where our original we had an evergreen tree. Most of the wood here is from the evergreen. There's some from the cherry. No, it's all the evergreen here, I think, and then I just add bits to it. The moss is enjoying all the rotting wood. There's some of the cherry there, that's a bit of cherry there. And there's some of the old original Welsh slate that used to be on the original Victorian roof. That's a little safe place for spiders. I find spiders go in there a lot. Let's have a look at where we've put it. It's got very high now, my dead hedge. But as you know, I don't use just picking up some bramble. It's a bit dark, but you can see all the dead hedge and possibly see all the green stuff on the top. That's the rose and a little bit of bramble that I've cut back. So you get quite a substantial dead hedge in my garden, as you know. But it's it's a necessity, all this dead decaying stuff. Yeah, and it's the ivy's growing up it, so it is a great place for insects and animals to find safety in. Okay, and my plan is, one thing I was thinking is to move up the dead buddleia that collapsed and lay that behind the pond in the meantime. That might be a good idea for it to rot down there, because I shall only get whips if I do plant a hedge there, so they won't need much space. There's only the one thing that's in there at the moment is mainly Mombretia, and it doesn't do a lot because it's so old, it hardly flowers. So if I rip out the Mombretia and yeah, perhaps put the dead wood there, I can move those couple of pots, and then that could rot down there. I've got a little wood pile already there, and another one. This is almost gone now, that one. Got all the cyclamen growing around it. So yeah, that's an idea, because I didn't know where to put the buddleia. And then the next big job will be, if it can just flower, the Montana, Clematis montana, if I can get that to flower, and then I'll cut that all hard back once that's done. I don't think I can cut anything else back. I'm losing so much in the garden this year. And then I can replace the little arch. It's whether I do or not, because well, it should be okay. Perhaps I have to control that as well a bit better, because I'm just thinking the holly there gets a bit swamped by it. And I'm aware of the lack of light in this garden due to the trees. We do have problems with light in the garden. It's getting dark, I'm aware of it now. But yeah, because of all these trees. Because it's a south-facing garden, but obviously those trees block a lot of that light, because I planted them in the middle, because I wanted shade in the garden. It was so hot, this garden, when we first moved in. It was unbearable to be in the garden. And I love the trees, and I think they're so important, but they do lack, cut out a lot of light. So if I can get more light up here, that's probably a good thing. Right. The plan is, if I just show you this buddleia. This is the buddleia I took a cutting of along the canal a good many years ago, and it also has a yellow flower on it, but it has the really tight yellow flower. I'll have to look up the name, not sure of the name. And that's, I'm going to, when I take up the dead buddleia, I shall replant this one there. I was thinking that space is so bare, but we do have an everlasting sweet pea that comes up every year, and I do allow a little bit of bindweed too, so the fence will get covered this year, but it won't be quite the same without my buddleia and my honeysuckle. I should miss the perfume of the honeysuckle. Whoops, sorry, dropped my camera. I'll edit that bit out. Shall I just pause that for a second? Yeah, so I'll miss the perfume of the honeysuckle, but never mind. We've got the builders in again next week. They're replacing our kitchen roof. Why we didn't get them done together, we just don't know, but the same roofers are coming. They're a good set of lads. So yeah, scaffolding goes up Friday at the front of the house, because the roof at the front of the house, we incurred a leak as it butts up to my neighbour's house. It's not the new roof that was leaking, it's the old. It's not old. We had a major fire a few years back now. There's a factory opposite us, and it caught fire and damaged our roof, and the insurance replaced the roof, but somehow I think it's just that we think it's just the flashing that's gone, so they're going to check that out and then rip off the kitchen roof. So yeah, a lot to do. So I'm going to come in now, and I'll edit this video as best I can, because I can only edit on my phone. But I hope you're all well, and yeah, another major change in my garden this year. So that's a buddleia, a honeysuckle, a elder tree, and now my great big substantial rambling rose gone. So quite a few changes. Be interesting to see how the light affects the pond as well, because it'll have far more light on it this year. Nothing's ever nested in that rose, because I have to tackle it all the while, so I have to make sure nothing nests in it. So there's never ever been a nest in it. But as I say, the insects do like it, especially the solitary bees. It was a good source of early nectar, and the leaf cutter bees would take cuttings from that, but there's not much I can do about it, and is there really? I hadn't got anything. It was silly. It was a stick when I brought it. It's one of those things you buy, a little stick of a rose, and then the next thing it's 20 feet wide. There you go. Right, okay, have a good evening everyone, and I hope to catch up again soon. Bye.